I am in West Lafayette, Indiana, and I'm going to take a look around Purdue University, which has some very interesting features on its campus. Here's the Carey Quadrangle, one of the oldest surviving residence halls built between 1927 and 1941. This is a statue of Neil Armstrong. The first man to walk on the moon was a Purdue alumnus. He is depicted as a young student here in the 1950s. And these are full-scale moon prints of Neil Armstrong, cast directly from the boot of his spacesuit. That is a replica D-20 Dinosaur, a hypersonic spaceplane. Up there is a replica of the Apollo 1 capsule. This hall also commemorates alumnus Roger Chaffee, who died horribly when it caught on fire. And here's an authentic moon rock. Inside the civil engineering building, here in the lab area, there is a multi-story laminar flow fountain, which is very mesmerizing. This is a bust of Nikola Tesla in the physics building. Good to see him getting the respect he deserves. That is the Purdue Bell Tower. It is 160 feet tall and chimes on the hour. Purdue University was opened in 1874, and it was founded by this guy, John Purdue. He was a local businessman who donated the land and financing for a college to be built here, and this is his grave in the middle of the campus. I thought that this gravestone was Purdue's grave, but it's a memorial to John Purdue and also World War II veterans. Here are some rocks for some reason. That's pretty cool, I guess. This is a sculpture showing the various methods of steel framing outside the mechanical engineering building. This is really awesome. A scale model of a locomotive that was displayed at the 1893 Columbian Exposition in Chicago. Purdue included this as part of their exhibit. It's a model of the Schenectady No. 1 locomotive that was apparently the first ever locomotive studied under laboratory conditions here at Purdue. Here's another locomotive model from 1906 that still turns. This case holds the world's widest paint. It has an extremely high solar reflectance. As of 2022, it holds the Guinness World Record for the world's widest paint. That is the Hevelon Hall clock up there. It is the original clock face and mechanism from Purdue's original clock tower at Hevelon Hall, which was built in 1894. The hall and its 140-foot tall clock tower was demolished in 1956, but in here the restored clock is still ticking away. This is the historic Wetherell Laboratory of Chemistry. Inside there is a giant caffeine molecule. Here are some of the off-duty self-driving delivery robots. This is the Purdue Memorial Union, a historic hotel and center of campus activity that was built in 1924. The entrance hall has some fantastic architecture and busts of all the Purdue presidents. A bust of the current president, Mitch Daniels, will be joining soon. This cross is a World War I memorial, dedicated to the 67 Purdue students who died during the Great War. And here's a 3D model of Purdue's extensive campus. This plaque details the American Creed. Here's another entrance hall with the flags of most nations. This is a bust of Abraham Lincoln. The plaque states that he's here because he signed the Land Grant College Act of 1862, which allowed for Purdue University to exist. I assume it's good luck to rub Lincoln's shiny nose. Here is the North Ballroom, which has some neat architectural details. There's a freaking bowling alley in the Union, along with several restaurants. I'm now walking through the creepy tunnels. There is a labyrinth of Cold War era tunnels underneath Purdue's campus which people are allowed to explore, though they're usually pretty empty. Here's the Brian Lamb School of Communication. Brian Lamb is the founder of C-SPAN, and he's from Lafayette, Indiana. Look at that little robot go. It's faster than the humans. That circular chamber up there is known as the Jedi Council Chamber, as it does resemble the Jedi Temple in Coruscant from Star Wars. Unfortunately, the Jedi Council is closed off on weekends. It's outrageous. It's unfair. That's a Deborah Butterfield stick horse. I've seen those in other places. This was the site of Purdue Hall, the original men's dormitory. Now the math building is here. Here's the new music building at Purdue, and it has a special glassed-in area to display the world's largest movable drum, a longtime Purdue staple. Unfortunately, the building's closed, so I can't see it on the other side, but I have seen this thing play before. That is the Voss model, a scale model of the solar system. Plaques about the planets surround the massive sun. Each step around the sun approximates about 5.4 million miles in space. Here's one of the bicentennial bisons. These sculptures feature animal circulatory systems. There's the Purdue power plant, which might go nuclear sometime in the near future. But there is a nuclear reactor below the nuclear building in the center of Purdue's campus. It's good to see some brickheads here. Now I'm going to grab a bite to eat here at the legendary XXX Family Restaurant, just blocks away from the Purdue campus. This was the first drive-in restaurant in the state of Indiana, as it opened in 1929, over 90 years ago. Currently you can't drive your car in under the awning, but the place is very popular as a sit-down diner. I really like all these old pictures on the walls, along with some old advertisements. That's what the XXX looked like at this location in 1933. It doesn't look too different from the 1960s. This is a 1946 menu, when a burger was just 25 cents. There's some antique signage for XXX root beer, which is their staple drink, and certainly the most popular soft drink to come out of Indiana. I've seen it being sold in places all over the country. Guy Fieri visited the XXX, and my XXX burger was really good. The bell tower plays songs for about 15 minutes, starting at 5 o'clock. Students jump over this former railroad line after they graduate. This is the Lion Fountain, and apparently drinking out of it brings good luck, so that's what I did. Another amazing sculpture at Purdue is outside the football stadium. This is the world's largest Boilermaker statue that honors 19th century locomotive Boilermakers. Apparently the name came to be after the Purdue football team defeated Wabash College 44-0 back in 1891. The press called the Purdue team Boilermakers, intended as an insult, but they embraced the name. So that was Purdue University. It is a really great university that also has lots of neat little attractions to visit. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel, and also take a look at my other travel videos. Actually, I'm not done yet. Early in the morning, I stopped at Fair Oaks Farms in Fair Oaks, Indiana, which is a roadside farm attraction north of Lafayette on Interstate 65. I just came here to get breakfast at their cafe, which is amazing. I love the food here, and it seems to be pretty fresh. Sometimes there are people working back here. I hadn't tried breakfast here before, and that was a really good bagel sandwich. Fair Oaks Farms is a fun attraction that does tours of their cow and pig farms. I have an old video on that, and we'll make a new updated one sometime. Thanks for watching.